They call this plant a chocolate. I don't know the real name of this plant. So I want it to be about this size and not grow any big. I wanted it to be a shrub like this. My cat usually likes sleeping down there, and here we had some gazanias which has died off. I don't know if they will, because some people are saying that they are annuals, some are saying they are perennials, so I don't know if they will come up again. I'm going to plant some seeds here. Last night I planted this is a mulberry plant which should be growing all the way up there, because I wanted a bit of shade here. I wanted a bit of shade around here. I wanted shade here on the lawn so that I can be able to sit here under the mulberry plant. And then I also mulched with anything that I found around. I don't buy a lot of mulch at these days. I just use the weeds that we found around, pulsing and grasses. As we can see, I have dogs. I don't know how they work out. I usually keep them the other side of home. I demarcated our home here, so when they get out, they start inspecting everything that you've been doing, and maybe trying to fix some of the things. I don't know what they are fixing. Right there, those are amaryllis. They are not flowering currently, with a bit of self-seeded. Is it self-seeded or volunteers of cosmos? Some of my favorite flowers, cosmos. If you didn't know, now you know. Cosmos are my favorites. So we usually try to utilize every little space that we have. So by using these containers, we are trying to increase the amount of space that we can use, or increasing production by having extra containers where we can have more plants in a small space. I don't know what this one is trying to do. Some volunteers here, I don't mind them. This is one of our problems. This thing, I don't really know what I can do to clear off this grass. It is so invasive. Anyways, moving on. We have some roses here. So these roses were not doing well until we cut them up, reduced some leaves, and then started watering again, and then they became a bit better. They grew some new leaves. Initially they were just like this. They didn't show any life. One of my favorite roses. I believe they will get better. Round Mion tomato, and this weed, I don't like this weed. It grows quite a lot here. It seems like we have a lot of seeds on the ground, so we have to take it off before it produces seeds. Seems like we are a bit late here. I'm going to just take off all this all of these weeds and feed to the chickens and ducks. So the reason I don't mind them a lot is that I know that they are our poultry feed. So usually I don't throw away these weeds. Some of these weeds, like this one, it has been sucking all the nutrients from this soil here, so I'm just cutting it and putting it back so that it decomposes and give back those nutrients. More flowers. It's a hibiscus plant. Hibiscus is edible. I planted this because I wanted the flowers, since it can be taken as tea. Lavender and a struggling palm. It has been like this for 2 years, so I don't really know why it doesn't grow. This right here is a squash. The squash gives me yellow leaves. I've been trying to give it water. If you don't give it water, it starts wilting. If you give it water, it gets yellow like this. I don't really know if it likes water or doesn't like water. I don't know what it is saying to me. So maybe I should plant it on the ground. Maybe it doesn't like the pot. This is one of my problems. please tell me how I can get rid of these guys. These are mealybugs, so I don't really know how I can get rid of these bugs. They are everywhere. So this is a pepper here. We have some peppers here, variety of peppers. This sweet peppers, green pepper. So California Wonder, it's a bell pepper, and then we have what do you call this? Bishop's crown. Another bishop's crown here. It's not like I eat a lot of chili. I don't know why I planted these, but as a gardener, you want a variety of stuff to plant. So I will make some chili sauce. I think we're going to grind this to make some chili powder and use in our braais as we braai and grill meat. More bell peppers and potatoes on the container here. So potatoes are heavy feeders, so if you plant them in containers like this, you should make sure that you give them compost, slow release fertilizer, organic fertilizers, also liquid fertilizers. And then we have paprika here. This is still the front garden, and we have a line of roses here, a line of roses next to this lawn. So all these plants are around this part here. Let's move this side. This is the side yard garden. We have kale here, more morogo, and then this side, these are potatoes. Planted them back some weeks back. We have this dahlias growing on this bit of container. It's shallow. I think some roots have went through. I don't really know how deep they went, because these roots are bulbs, mostly are bulbs. So I'll see as winter comes, I'm going to try to get these roots out and to try to divide them as I've seen people doing it on YouTube. Pepper, this one I don't. Oh, okay, this should be paprika, I think. Yeah, this is paprika, but it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look quite like that. Should be a different variety, this one. Yeah, surprises. Some of these things they just volunteered. Some of our chili here, not very hot, this one. I like it. Beetroots growing down there for our salads. A rose. This is my wife's favorite rose. Not this rose, but I mean roses are my wife's favorites. Dill here. Is this dill or fennel? Yeah, dill. Dill here growing there. More chili. This one is growing bigger than that one. I think soil fertility. And then some yellow peppers growing here with a bit of beetroots in between. We didn't want to waste space because this required this amount of space in between this yellow peppers. So since there was space left here, we just grew beetroots here so that we don't waste space, we utilize the space. And then this side, this one is struggling. Daughter is struggling, so we are going to take everything off here, try to work this soil up, mix with some organic fertilizer or manure to try and reinvigorate the garden or the garden bed and see what we can plant here. I will need something which doesn't mind a bit of shade because the sun is setting this side, So that's west, and as you can tell, it becomes a bit shady here past the noon. So I'll see what I can use. I'm also recycling here in my garden. This is a bag, an old bag that we planted some radishes in, and I don't know if we forgot this one or what. So big. I don't know if it's still edible. Okay. So we also have more dill. I pulled some flowers which were here in the morning because they were infested with mealybugs. So I was watching a video lately. Was it yesterday? There was a lady who was saying that as we see pests, you should know that those plants are trying to tell you something. It means that there is a problem, so you need to fix that problem. So it's not like the surface of the leaf or the surface of the plant material. It's sterile. It's not sterile. There are organisms there. There are microorganisms there. So it's up to you to see what you put there. If you spray these chemical fertilizers, they will kill everything on top. But when a bad bacteria sits or jumps on the plant surface and it realizes that there is a habitable place here, it will multiply so that it will now attract all other diseases, and the plant will show that it's diseased, the plant will show that it's weak. So if you inoculate, I believe the right word is inoculate, the plant with good microorganisms, it will take over the plant and protect the plant. So of course that one will not be feasting on the plant like these things like mealybugs. Mealybugs will suck up all the nutrients on the surface of the leaves until the whole plant dies if you don't control it. So those are some of the things that we learn day by day. That's one of the reasons why I don't like using chemical fertilizers these days. So no, not fertilizer, but chemical pesticides these days. Yeah. These are potatoes, more potatoes grown all the way up to there. We wanted to, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Something is wrong. I don't really know what is wrong. For those who have been growing potatoes, please tell me what's wrong here. Surely something's wrong. So the leaves can't get smaller like this. Seems like they're bent by something. I don't really know what could be the problem. And then these are tomatoes here. Those tires are recycled. Those tires. Usually when I change the tires at the tire shops, I take those tires and use them. So reusing the tires. That's a potato. Old bag. Our old bags are useful. And a bit of lettuce, sweet potatoes, more chili, strawberries. Died, some died here. There were a lot of strawberries, so they died because soil fertility was a problem after we applied that chemical fertilizer. Soil fertility became a problem here. Even water holding capacity of the soil was reduced. I don't know how, I don't know why. So I should have replanted this in smaller containers with a nice potting medium. This squash here, this is a volunteer, so I just left it. More potatoes. That's chard right there. More roses. to attract some pollinators, potatoes, sweet potato. So as you can see and as we can tell, I've grown potatoes and sweet potatoes which are in containers, in deep big containers, because we all know that these are tubers. They need to grow in something which is big, so that they develop big tubers without any problems. This is a pericissy plant, a peach plant which was harassed by bees last time, so I tried to use a disc or a CD, some CDs, to try and deter some bees, and they seem to have learned that this doesn't cause any harm, and they just eat our peaches quite a lot. So I don't know how to keep bees away. Some people were suggesting buying a net and putting it over the whole plant. We planted a banana plant there with some indoor plants right there, or shade living plants at the bottom. Lemongrass, we usually use this lemongrass to mulch our gardens. So as you can see, I usually cut at the base there, and it regrows again. This side I didn't cut, this side I'm going to cut, this side and the mulch elsewhere. I should be growing more of this because it is very prolific. So since it's very prolific, I also use it to make liquid fertilizer. These drums, these two are liquid fertilizers in. Currently cooking liquid fertilizer, so you can see. I think I'm getting the recipe quite well these days, because it is not smelly as it was in the past. So it's a bit smelly, but not like that awful smell. I think I was keeping what's that? It's a plastic. I think I was making an anaerobic. I think I was making anaerobic liquid fertilizer. So this is, I believe, going in the right direction. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I made this liquid fertilizer using the weeds that we have. Like you can see, those are waiting to make another batch of liquid fertilizer. I'm cutting them off, I'm taking them off outside the home. So I just put them in these drums, put some water in, let it ferment, and then water the garden. This is a sweet corn here. We have some sweet corn here. It has been struggling in the past few weeks because of no rain, because of very hot sun. When you water these places, it will be wet for a few hours or few minutes, and then it will get dry again. So sometimes the garden will be dry at the bottom here, but the plant will look very stressed. You can imagine how hot it was. You see the plant wilting, but the ground is still wet. This is where I have grown some radishes, more mealybugs. I believe it tells me something. If there is a high infestation of mealybugs, should mean something. More pollinator thing here. More flowers for pollinators. Bell peppers, some flowers for pollinators. Sweet potato plants, bell peppers, what do you call this? Avocado tree, an apple, and jasmine there. Our layer chickens that side. Rosemary, paprika, I think. Yeah, paprika. Cucumber. This is the one I got from the shop. I planted it to that side. I should have shown it before, and this is another one. So this one is doing a bit better. Butternut squash hiding this side. More butternut squash growing from this area here, and I went all over here. I have grown some beans here, and the dogs harassed this area because it was too hot. My dog dug there and killed some of the beans which were grown here. So this one is decided to trellis itself up along this peach plant. More shade loving plants here grown under the tree. So strawberries. Okay, my son didn't see this one. I'm gonna get it. Look at it. He ain't getting anything right now. He will get something from the next batch. Volunteer media right there, and the gem squash growing down there, so it doesn't look with that one. We have a mint patch here. One of the mistakes I made, this thing is invasive. I should have grown it in a container because it's coming all the way up to here. It was growing up to this point here. Just pulled some of it from this ground here and fed to the chickens. More roses, pomegranate, going to give us just given a few fruits the first time. I don't know why this one is yellow, so I'm just going to give it to the chickens because I don't think it's edible. It should be purple. This is Black Beauty eggplant, citrus plant. This is an orange tree, a kumquat here with some snapdragons, and these are marrows. I have 3 marrows here, a bit of potatoes, more roses, basil, and other plants. So this is a gift from a friend of mine. Why Billy gave me this naraki. And then we have bishop's crown here. This chili, another volunteer here. This is a volunteer tomato, so I gave it a home here, planted it on this container. And we have Arizona blanket flower. I thought I would have time to transplant this to containers. I got rid of this because it was taking over all over that space down there, so I wanted it to just to keep it this side so that we can put some containers like this right there. So what you see here is what I took from this point here, from this side here. So we have more peppers here, pomegranate. This one I made from a cutting, I was just experimenting, and it took well. More citruses, more citrus. This is another nachi. mealybugs again. Going to take this off. You can see how devastating mealybugs are. They killed this Arizona blanket flower. It was well alive. I left it here with these bugs. I tried to treat with a pesticide which I had. Seems like it is not effective as I thought. Or unless these mealybugs are resistant. So this was the flower here, Arizona blanket flower, red Arizona blanket flower. So it's a beautiful flower. I have the seeds, so I will just replant it again. And this one planted its owner. I don't know how it got here, and it's now going to take over. When this dies off, I will remain with this. More amaryllis, cherry tomato. This is a dwarf variety, it's a small one. And this is where I'll be planting some lettuce. And there's a wild rocket there. So we are trying to utilize every space that we have. This is lavender by the side of the house here. So we have more plants. Those ones they like a bit of shade, so they receive the sun in the morning. By midday and in afternoon they are in the shade. So these are some herbs. These are our herbs: basil, oregano, sage, dill, watermelon, mint, parsley, and this plant here. This one I will never plant it on the ground. I've seen how super invasive it is. It will kill everything and decide to grow more shoots, more of its shoots on the ground. So I'm not going to plant it on the ground. Collecting some rainwater on that drum there. Interplanted some yellow pear tomato with a marigold here, and then volunteer tomato. Sometimes some of the volunteers I don't remove them. These are some strawberries. They are already producing. My son is always eating some here. Carbon tomato here. Carbon tomato is considered a black tomato. Cucumber. I thought there was another cucumber here. Yeah, another one is here, cucumber. So the idea here is now to make a trellis here. So I'll see how I can make that trellis here so that I can keep the cucumber here, another cucumber there growing on the trellis here again. I'll see the type of the trellis that I can make. Thyme, basil. I believe it's enough to make pesto. I went out foraging cow dung, so here it is. I'm going to throw it in some of the plants. This is organic feed, organic fertilizer. So I prefer this, but the downside of it is that it contains a lot of seeds which are still dormant. So you when you use this, just know that you will have to pull weeds for a very long time. More containers, free containers here to grow some plants in. This shake, let me advertise this. This is a brew made here in Botswana. I don't know if it originates here in Botswana, South Africa, Namibia, Zambia or Zimbabwe. So it is made of it is a traditional beer made of these ingredients, those ingredients that you see. So there are different versions. This one was made in Botswana, as you can see here. So it's a traditional beer with a little percentage of alcohol, 3.5%. And we as gardeners here, we like to recycle this because there is quite plenty of this. We just take this and plant some of our plants in, just cut a bit at the top there, and we have a container here. It's versatile. You can also boil some water inside this. I've seen people using it when they are maybe out in the woods or the forest, by the panning. They will boil some water on this, just placing it on top of fire with water inside. Go and try that experiment. It works. Water will boil while it's not burning up this side. So I think the water is able to cool the down underside before it starts burning. At the same time, the water heating up inside. I have seen that happening. I have tried it. If you are so more potatoes, mango, and this is Barbara squash, one of our favorite squashes. So it's a volunteer. It has grown on its own by itself. We had a Barbara squash growing this side last year, so I believe some of the seeds were left here. We might have left a squash somewhere here which has grown these seeds. These are all male flowers. What is it giving me? Only male flowers. So it's growing all the way from that side to here. I'll see if it can give me extra few squashes. So I have left it. I'll just leave it alone. Sunflower, this one doesn't want to grow big. I don't know why. I love very big sunflowers. I like large sunflowers. So this one is just remaining small. Another sunflower here managed to produce some seeds. Another sunflower here. Yeah, the head is too big, and it's getting heavy. As you can see, it's leaning like this, leaning forward. My friend already gave me this moroho, so I just keeping it alive. I'll see when to take some cuttings and plant. Yes, you can plant it with cuttings. You just have to cut it like this, put it on the soil, and it will grow. That's how I did it with this one. I know it works because that's how I did it with this one. And then this Cape gooseberry, more Cape gooseberry, because mealybugs like very bushy and moist places where there isn't enough air circulation. They are everywhere on this plant, but I don't want to kill this plant. I don't want to take it off, so I don't know how I can treat this whole thing. So I'll see how to deal with this. This is a tomato land. We planted some tomatoes here. These are Tangero Supreme variety. Tangero Supreme variety grown with a bit of beans this side and few runner beans growing here and at the back there. I wanted a lot of runner beans growing up by this fence, so some didn't germinate. Yeah, some of the problems that we have as gardeners, sowing more and more seeds, and some won't germinate. But these are bush beans, and shade net there to reduce the amount of sun scorching all these tomatoes, because they were struggling with sun. Like I was saying, it has been very hot, so today is a good day. I wish it could be like this for a few more days, so that yeah, more plants here. And this is where I demarcated the yard, because that gentleman right there, when he gets out, he will be running around with the cat, chasing the cat everywhere, so they break some of our plants. And this lady, what she likes to do is to do some inspections and digging. So this, I don't usually throw weeds away, I use them to mulch. These grasses, they are mulch, they are free mulch. Alright, let's get back at the back. This one have some disease of some sort. Let me know what this is, please. There were tomatoes here on this area here with some pineapples, so I took the tomatoes away and I left these pineapples here. I forgot them, so they seem to like this area here, so they will stay here for quite some time before I move them to the other side. These are trellising sticks that I got from just there, the bush. These are curtains, rose curtains. I was pruning roses instead of throwing those away, so I just planted them. This is an experiment. Planted them here in the sand. Some are dying, I don't know why. Some are looking well, some are looking well. So I'll see how many roses I'll get from this. More curtains. So this is the first time making curtains. No, the second time. First time nothing survived. So this is the second time, and things are looking great. I should say great. Firewood stand. We had a pile of firewood here, so I didn't want termites to eat the whole firewood. So I built this stand using some scrap metal that we have here. Those metals that you have at your home, you can use them. We're a bit of welding machine. I don't have any welding experience, so if I can do this, you can do it too. And I had a bit of old oil here, and as you know, dogs, this is what they did. Right there at the back here, because this is the dog section this side, I have built this barrier for them. This is the gate. This is how you close it, so they can't open. So opening, just take this off and it's open. So getting inside, we have ducks this side and 2 chickens. So these are 2 chickens which remained, which survived when we slaughtered all the chickens that we had. And these are ducklings from that side. When they hatch that side, we bring them here because the males are harassing them. I don't know why, or maybe it's because of the mating season. But anyways, we are not talking about animals, we're talking about the garden. This is what I have this side. We mainly wanted to grow melons and squash this side. Some are not doing well, some are just getting to the size and stop. Something that I realize is that they want a moist area. They don't like getting dry, they don't like getting stressed. So squash needs soil which can hold water for a long time. That's why some people use some people use a drip irrigation system. That's compost made from cow dung plus grass. So I lifted this a bit during this morning because I wanted a bit of rain. a bit of rain, I'll be covering it again. I think it's about to get ready. More corn here. We have some sweet corn. We really like sweet corn, but our problem is here is the space that we have at home. Right here at home, we can't grow quite a lot of sweet corn. We give potatoes priority this time around. We want to cure them and store them for the next season. And this, one of the squashes, I don't know which one. I've grown a lot of squashes here, few tomatoes. If you have realized, if you haven't realized, we have a lot of potatoes and tomatoes here. Tomatoes, we are going to dry some. We are going to make we'll see what to do with them, but we love tomatoes. There are varieties of tomatoes here. We have a green zebra, we have yellow pear, we have a red cherry tomatoes, we have a pink, clear pink one, we have a Principe Bigis, we have what's that one? I forget the name. So squash here, this is just the volunteer. I don't know how it got here. And then that side, even that side, we utilize every space that we have. These are sweet potatoes grown from sweet potato slips. So that side by this toilet here where I'm staying, sometimes we run out of water. The village sometimes runs out of water for maybe a week, water not coming out of the tap. So if you don't have this type of toilet, then you are doomed. You will see what to flush with. So you can buy water. You can have a reserve tank like I do with a water pump, but not everyone is going to afford to buy a water pump with a big tank, a reservoir tank or reserve tank. This is a squashy, a melon. This is a watermelon here. I'm happy to see this. They haven't been producing. The past few days it has been cloudy with a bit of some showers, so I believe this is one of the things that's, that are the benefit from this rain. And our wish is to have squashes and pumpkins growing all over this place here. By the end of the season we should be collecting a lot of pumpkins here. But since it's very hot and dry and we are not having, this is it should be the rainy season, but we don't have rain. Seasons have changed. Seasons have really changed. It's a rainy season. They call it a rainy season. It's summer. But we are going to the end of the season and there are no rains. So we use quite a lot of water to water all this. Whereas we could have some rains. Like now, even the rains are just something else. Look at this. Look at this. This is our rain. A bit wet here and dry there. Why is it dry there if we have rain? This is the problem that we have. So our rains are not that our rain is not as it was before. Anyways, this is the end of the tour. I believe it's a very, very long video. I hope you have learned one or two things, and please, the things that I've asked, the questions that I've asked, please try to give me some answers to the questions that I've asked. I am also learning from you. I'm also learning from your comments. See you on the next video. Yeah.